So, what kind of video do I want to do next? Maybe a video about Subway sandwiches? Then maybe a vid about the impending doom of capitalism? That's too complicated. I've been thinking about it for so fucking long. Maybe I should load up a game to think? That's it! I'm gonna make a video about thinking without words. The thinking process of one without vocabulary. We think in words. Our entire sense of self, or understanding of the world is framed and dictated by the language we speak. Yet, what happens when we remove language, when the words are gone and only the raw material of thought remains? We are creatures bound by words, but is there a mind beyond this framework? Could thoughts exist without language, free from the structure and limitation that words impose upon them? Imagine for a moment a grown man, no collection of language, no grasp of grammar, no vocabulary to call his own. What would his mind look like? Without language, the mind would be free from labels. There would be no words for what he sees, no name for what he feels. He would not call the sky blue, nor the grass green. There would be no cold to describe the wind. There would be only sensations, pure, unfiltered experiences. The mind would function, not in concepts, but in raw, vivid impressions. What we call thought is often a dance of words, a silent conversation inside our heads, labeling and categorizing. But what if that conversation was never learned? Would the mind still make sense of the world? Perhaps in its rawest form. The mind would not think at all. It would simply be. It would exist in a perpetual state of observation and feeling without the need to define. We often think of thought as a process of language, an inner dialogue, an inner monologue. But what if thought was not this at all? What if thought existed in the absence of words, as a collection of immediate experiences and emotional responses to the world? Could this languageless mind engage in complex problem solving? Could it devise strategies, forge new paths forward? In the absence of language, he might not think, I need to climb this hill, but he would know instinctively how to overcome the terrain. His mind would rely on a deeper, more primal intelligence, a body of knowledge embedded in instinct, sensation, and memory, untethered to any narrative. And then language enters. Slowly, the world starts to come into focus, and the mind starts to organize the chaos. Words like climb, hill, sun begin to form connections, and then the mind finds its voice. But what happens to the purity of thought when language begins to shape it? Does the introduction of words create clarity, or does it just clutter the mind with categories, judgments, and definitions? Language provides power. It allows us to communicate, to connect, categorize, and solve problems, but it also confines us to the structures of those words. It frames our thoughts, anchors us to systems of meaning that can limit our perception. But now, consider this. What if we, who already know language, were to suddenly lose it? What if we too were dropped into a world without words? Would we feel utterly lost, or would we feel a sense of freedom? We are, after all, bound by our own language. It is both a tool and a cage, a bridge and a barrier. In a world without words, would we be lost, or would we discover that the mind can think, feel, and exist without them? Perhaps the most profound freedom lies not in the power of language, but in the quiet, unspoken space between our thoughts. Alright! I just thought about thinking one day and I was like, damn, I could do a video about language. Yeah, that's about the process my mind took. Then I wrote the script and then, yeah. That was Chromedex, thinking, feathering, rizzing, and clapping. And there you go, guys. That's my new rhyme of the day. Leave a like, comment, sub, whatever the fuck you want to do. And guess I'll see you next time.